had last week, but I guess
No doubt.
I guess it needs to turn winter for a little bit.
Yeah. Got to have a little bit of winter.
Had last week. I guess it needs to turn winter for a little bit.
Yeah. Got to have a little bit of winter.
Good to see everybody today. We'll get started here shortly. As always, if you haven't had a chance to pull the board agenda, the virtual board agenda, you can find the link in our chat, in the chat box for the board agenda. You can see each individual agenda item, or you can go to the bottom and pull up the as one document all of the documents for today's board meeting. So
I don't know about y'all, but I sure like Wade's office a lot better than I like mine.
I agree. You think he's out on Trigg County shores somewhere?
No, we don't allow him in Trigg County. He's got to be in Lyon County.
Yeah.
I think he may be under attack there, and he's just trying to defend his fort.
That may be what it is, Judge Whitfield.
Judge Whitfield and I've been playing phone tag, I think.
Yes, sir. Mayor Cotton, you sure are concentrating a lot there.
Trying to decide if I want a cheeseburger or if I want a barbecue sandwich.
You want a cheeseburger? The bowling alley has them right now. You can go get one.
Oh, that's right. You were able to open back up.
Yeah.
You still got that sign up that refers to Jason?
No, we had to take it down. We decided
Okay.
he was doing his part. He wouldn't keep him clean.
I think the business that's running outside in the parking lot of the bowling alleys make it doing a pretty good business.
Oh, man. This morning they were wrapped around all the way through my parking lot down toward Sonic.
Y'all got me wondering what kind of business it is.
I've got a 25,000 square foot bowling alley that serves food and drink, and they've got a 100-foot coffee trailer, and they're doing twice as much business as I am right now.
I thought maybe it was one of those Auntie Ann pretzel trucks. They've been coming through, and my kids act like it's Christmas every time that happens.
Yeah, they sell out of our parking lot. Kevin's over here waiting in line 4 times a day when they're here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
the individual that owns that Auntie Ann truck is actually on our board. I don't know if he'll be on here today or not. Hadn't seen him yet. Raji from Muhlenberg County.
Maybe we can talk him into giving out discount cards. After so many visits, you get one free.
Representative Imes, it sure is good to see you. Glad you were able to join us today.
I'm glad to be with you all. Thanks for asking me.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, it is 1:01. Are we waiting on anybody else, or are you about ready to get started?
Let's give it just a couple of more minutes and then we'll get started.
That'll be fine.
Looks like we've still got some folks coming in.
I'll just wait for you to give me the nod. How about that?
Okay, that sounds good.
I just want to go on the record. I think Wade's got about 3 ducks over the limit already, so you all keep that in mind.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have to pin the video so I can see what he's doing over there. You may be right.
Look there, Senator Humphreys. Good to see Senator Humphreys on the big screen here. Santa Claus, Mr. Representative Beckler. I think somebody else has a suit like that. Mayor Cotton, where's your suit? Mr. Chairman, we'll get started. Before we do get started, let me tell everyone again that if you haven't been able to access the online agenda, you will find the link to the online agenda in the chat box. Again, you can find there all the virtual agenda, digital agenda, or you can go to the bottom of the page there and find the entire board packet in one PDF. So a couple of ways to access that. If you have issues accessing that, you can shoot myself or Cheri Farmer an email, and we can get it sent to you. But hopefully everyone was able to find that. But Mr. Chairman, I guess if we want to go ahead and get started, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, Jason, thank you. We will call this meeting to order. I'm certainly not Perry Newcomb. He's a lot better looking and a lot wealthier than I am, but he was out today and couldn't be at the meeting.
Amen.
Is that Judge Tribble? That's enough out of you, Judge Tribble. Anyway, we like to call this meeting to order. I hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy during this holiday season. With that, if Larry Curlin's going to lead us in the pledge, and after that, if Judge Todd Mansfield will lead us in the invocation.
Everyone, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation
under
God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
Judge Mansfield, if you want to lead us into prayer, I think you're on mute here.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay, let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you first for the freedom we have to gather for our communities across Western Kentucky. We want to thank you for the men and women that are serving, that have served and given the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. We want to lift up our nation this time as we go through this transition. We also want to pray for our leaders in Washington that they will look to you for guidance as they lead our nation. So we also today want to thank you for the many blessings you've bestowed upon us, but we want to lift up all the sick across our region and around the world as we deal with COVID-19. We pray for the families who've lost loved ones. We pray for the doctors and nurses and scientists. They work day and night for the health of our country. Last, but definitely not least, we want to thank you for sending your son, Jesus Christ, so that we can all have a hopeful future. We pray that during this 2020 Christmas season, that you'll give us, that we'll give you thanks for the blessings you've bestowed upon us and continue to bestow upon us. We ask that you continue to bless us and forgive us where we fail you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Man. Thank you, Judge Curlin, and thank you, Judge Todd Mansfield. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. Everyone should have gotten a copy of those or can look at them virtually. Give you a few minutes to look over those.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second, Jay and Yance.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed by like sign? We hear none. Motion carries. Thank you all. Approval of the financial report. Miss Chrissy Carter, PADD Treasurer. Chrissy, are you on?
I am.
There you are.
All right. If you'll look at the monthly expenditure report, we should be at 41.67% to be in line with the budget. Overall, we're at 33.84% of the administrative budget as of 11/30/2020. All line items are currently within budget. Travel still continues to be under budget due to travel restrictions, and we are monitoring this and will be processing budget adjustments in January to address the issue. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Chrissy. Need a motion to approve that report?
Got a motion by Larry.
By Whitfield.
Motion by Judge Curlin and second by Judge Whitfield. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed by like sign? Hear none. Financial report accepted. Federal and state reports. We'll start with Miss Morgan Alvey. Is Morgan on the call?
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
All right, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick legislative update. Last week, Congress passed a one-week continuing resolution on government funding that runs until this Friday while negotiations continue on a broader omnibus appropriations bill. Also last week, the House and Senate passed the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act conference report, which I know is always an important bill for our region with Fort Campbell. As always, if our office can ever be of assistance, just let me know. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. And I'm sorry, you were with Senator McConnell's office. I didn't recognize that, and I apologize. Now we have Jason Hazard with Senator Paul's office. Jason, are you on? There you are. Yeah.
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas from Senator Paul. He is looking forward to the new session next year, and recently has had several calls with economic development directors in Western Kentucky, and is very focused on trying to aid in reopening the Commonwealth and getting business back to normal. COVID is certainly a big concern and an issue, but we also have to be looking at the overall economy and what it can also be doing to help people. So Senator Paul asks everyone to talk to their state representatives, their state senators, let them know what's happening in your community and things that need to be adjusted in the state. Also, going into the next year, if your communities are working on any grants or need letters of support, please let myself know. Senator Paul would certainly be happy to help supporting those. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. And now Miss Sandy Simpson with Congressman James Comer's office.
Hi there, everyone. It's really good to join you all today.
as all of you all are aware, Congress did adjourn. Congressman's back in the district. He's been very, very busy in Washington these last few weeks. As Morgan pointed out, Congress passed the WRDA and the NDAA bills, and they are now being sent to the president's desk for his signature. Those mean quite a bit to the district, and especially as Morgan pointed out, Fort Campbell. The Water Resource Development Act actually put $9.9 billion into that bill. So that'll be very helpful for the navigation improvements on the waterways. Congressman is wanting to get the businesses and industries back open. He, as you all well aware of, that he's been very vocal about getting the economy back open. So the congressman is excited that at least our restaurants will be back open this evening. And most of you all know Amelia and Corey usually attend these meetings, and unfortunately they're not able to be here on this meeting with you all today. I'm so excited to be here. It's been a while since I've seen most of you all, and it's really good to see your faces today. On behalf of the congressman and his entire staff, I want to wish all of you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And as Jason pointed out with Senator Paul's office, and I'm sure with Senator McConnell's office too, Congressman Comer is wanting you all to know that if there's any grants out there that you all will be applying for, he'll be glad to write a letter of support. And if there's anything that we can do to be of assistance to you during these most hectic times, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. And once again, it's really good to see you all, and thank you all for giving me the opportunity to sit in on your meeting today on behalf of Congressman Comer, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Ms. Simpson. Appreciate you being here. Everyone knows the session is starting in January. It's 2021. And the Kentucky Legislative Outlook. Did Senator Westerfield ever get on? Jason, are you aware?
I don't see Senator Westerfield on here.
Okay. We'll skip over him if he joins later. And to my favorite senator, Senator Stan Humphreys.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you today.
Good to see you, Senator. If I didn't know you better, you drinking tea, I think, but I thought that was bourbon on ice there for a minute.
It's iced tea all the way, Judge. You know me
Okay.
better.
The floor is all yours, sir. Can you give us a little bit of your outgoing perspective, maybe?
Well, thanks for having me on today. I appreciate it. And I don't have a lot coming up for the perspective from the 21 session. I know our caucus did meet last week, and typically they meet around various places around the state. Unfortunately, with the COVID issue going on, they did meet last week. I was not in attendance. New senator from the 1st District, as of January 1st, will be Jason Howell. And I don't know if Jason's on or not today. Maybe he's going to be able to give you a better update than I will be. I know there's a lot of concern about COVID relief, unemployment, work that goes on with just all the things that have been associated with that, good and bad, that we have tried to work on throughout the state this year. I know there's a big concern with executive orders, executive privilege. I think that will be a concern going forward, and how we relate to that. Whatever the side of the fence you're on, I think we have to be concerned that we do have a lot of input from elected officials around the state. So I think that will be on the dial for coming up. Maybe some of my colleagues can give a better review of that than I am, since I am looking at it from a different view at this vantage point in my career. I made the announcement last year at our PADD Christmas dinner that I was not seeking re-election, and that has been a year ago, and a lot has changed in our world, in our state, in this past 12 months, and that's the reason we're meeting with the media technology we have today. I wish we could meet. I wish we had a chance to get a free lunch off Vincent before the Christmas holidays. I do wish everybody Merry Christmas. It has been a unique experience being at this sitting as a board member of the PADD office for several years, and then at the state Senate level. I just hope that everybody has had an opportunity to try to work with their community leaders. I know it's been difficult trying to bounce back, and our small businesses have suffered so much, and our families and our self-employed have worked tirelessly to try to make ends meet. I appreciate all my former colleagues at the judge executive level, the mayors that I've worked with, who have worked in a very unique circumstance this year. I know it's been a tough year. I appreciate what you do, Judge, and the other members who are on today for just sticking in there and hanging in there. As of this morning, I think I saw where the first American was vaccinated. And so that's great news, a great sign. Help is on the way. And we just have to keep our chin up and look at 21 as hopefully will be much different and even brighter than we can anticipate right now. So that's my review and my perspective. Again, I thank you all for having me on today, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Senator, thank you very much. You stay with us, though. We've got you on the agenda again. I don't know if you can see that agenda or not, but we're going to recognize you again here in just a minute. Representative Myron Dossett, are you on, sir?
I don't think he's on here, Judge.
Okay. Representative Jim Gooch, I know I saw him earlier somewhere. Yes, there he is.
Glad to be here. And so it's good to be with you. I would like to be there in person, as everyone would, I'm sure. And as it's already been mentioned, it's kind of been a crazy year. But, I think that we have to, I guess at this time of year, to be thankful for some of the really good things. And sometimes it's more difficult when things have been, bad for so many out there that we still rejoice in this season and look to the positive and to the future. And so I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas with that. As you know, we are starting a session in January, just a few weeks away. And one of the things, this is going to be a very different session because we am not sure how many people are going to be allowed to be in the Capitol or at the annex or whatever. And a lot of our work is going to be done virtually. I know they've installed technology where we can be in our office and actually vote, and that vote will register on the board in the House chambers. So I think they're doing that to encourage where everyone all 100 members won't be in the chamber at the same time, shoulder to shoulder or whatever. And that's probably something that's necessary. It's going to be a very difficult session because we're having to pass a budget, or at least second year of the budget, in a very short session. Passing a budget is a tough thing to do in a 60-day session, and so it's really going to be difficult. It will require more votes because this is a short session. Anything budget related will require a 2/3 majority. So it's going to be a tough session. We still may be operating with numbers that we aren't really sure about. That's why we only did a one-year budget last time. And but some things are positive. We saw that our co-severance money are up. They're up over what we've projected. I know this month in November, I think we had $7.3 million, and that was $3 million over projection. So we're seeing a little bit positive things there. There really still are some really serious problems out there. Unemployment for so many people who still haven't gotten unemployment benefits. There's really no reason at all after 10 months that we have anyone in the state of Kentucky who has applied for unemployment benefits and has not been paid, that had a legitimate claim or whatever. And so I hope that we can get that resolved, as possible. As Senator Humphreys mentioned, beside the budget, there is no question the issue of executive orders where any governor that can declare a state of emergency that lasts indefinitely for months, possibly years, and not have to have any one to answer to or whatever as to what type of powers that he can or how far he can go. That's going to be an issue as it should be. And so I know that's something that we're definitely going to do. Some of the other issues are still going to be there. As far as my committee, I'm chairing the Natural Resources and Energy Committee. We probably are going to have a bill related to 811, I'm sorry, as far as the before you dig. But there's been about a group of about 30 different groups that have worked together over 2 years and have kind of come with something that they think will be positive for that, or people can make a phone call and we just have to do that because there's been too many instances where people have dug into gas lines that could be very, very dangerous, or other types of cables or whatever that fund our technologies or whatever. So we're going to have to look at that. That bill will not actually become law until 2022 if it does pass this session. So there'll still be time to iron out some differences there. But I don't expect a lot of other serious bills come before our committee, because we're going to be spending too much time probably working on the budget and the executive powers issues. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Googe. Anyone have any questions of Representative? If not, I think we have Representative Walker Thomas on the call. I think you're next on our list, Representative Thomas.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's always good to get together with y'all. And with some of these virtual meetings, I haven't made as many this last year as I have in the past. I do want to highlight that Representative Gooch is right, that we are probably going to be adjourning on, or we are going to adjourn on, or start our meetings on January 5th. We've been told to go ahead and stay 5 days. So we will probably be passing some legislation that first week. And then we've been kind of told to block off maybe even the next week. So looks like we're going to jump in there and get some things done pretty quick. We only have 30 days of session time to get a budget passed. And you're right, it will take 60 votes this time since it's a non-budget year. So that'll be kind of a challenge. Kind of excited, though, to hear our new A&R chair. So Jason Petrie is the new A&R chair. So we got some Western Kentucky ties down here with that controls what goes through that committee. So that was kind of exciting to hear. And Ed Massey is going to be the Judiciary Chair. He's from Northern Kentucky, but he will do a phenomenal job on that. So that is good also. A few of the things that I'm working on, many of you might have seen all these billboards popping up the side of the road. So we're going to work with the executive branch of the transportation through the governor's office and see how those can be resolved. Apparently there's a court case that kicked out the rules that we've had for many, many years. I was able, they blessed me to keep me as a military affairs chairman, Veterans Military Affairs and Public Protection chair. So some of the things that we looked at over the summer, we looked at the religious freedoms with Easter services, some of, stepping on toes a little bit. Where do our constitutional rights to practice religion kick in, and things like that during a pandemic. We studied some of the impact of COVID-19 on the veterans. First responders talked about how prepared they were for something like that. We discussed the unfortunate shooting in Louisville with the National Guardsmen that actually, shot a restaurateur, and talked about that a little bit. And then we also looked at the defund the police movement and tried to hear both sides on that. A few of the things I'm trying to pass through that should either come through my committee or so is the Uniform Child Custody Act for the military. Kind of Tennessee's already adopted it. It just kind of says what will happen if you were in the middle of a divorce or custody for the kids if you get deployed. Got a couple psychology packs, compacts, and a speech pathology pack that should really help the military. So you would only have to have one license to practice, but be able to practice in some of these other states that border us too. And then, of course, I'm always going to keep pushing the tax exempt military pensions. I think that's vital for the state of Kentucky to make us the most friendly military state in the nation. And we want some of these retirees locating here. If there's ever anything I can do for anyone, please reach out to me. And we want to thank everyone for being here today, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
Mr.
Thank you,
Chairman.
Representative.
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Chairman, if I may hate to jump in here, but
No, go ahead.
Representative Thomas and any others, one question, and maybe some of the others might want to follow up on this as well. I know that our businesses, a lot of our small businesses are starting to receive information about an increase on the unemployment insurance. And of course, I've seen some different amounts on that. Is there going to be anything that you all are going to be able to do to maybe assist with that or address that in the upcoming session? And again, if anybody that's already spoken wants to jump in on that, or any of our ones that we'll be calling on here in the near future, if you want to.
That was mentioned at our retreat. That was last Tuesday. And apparently our scale goes from A to F. And we had over $618 million in surplus before this pandemic. And now I'm thinking we're about $680 million in the hole. Plus we owe the federal government, gosh, $845 million or so. So it is a big hole we've dug ourselves in. I know a lot of people had the A rating, which, for instance, Jason, was about $183 per person for unemployment typical. It looks like it's gonna max out the chart, get down to the $285 per person pretty quickly. So that is gonna be something we're gonna address. I don't know that we have a fix yet. Obviously, the whole fund is depleted, and we're using the government's dime. So that's where we are. If anyone else knows more, I'd appreciate it.
I'm glad to hear that's on your radar screen. Thank you very much.
It is.
Jason, if I can chime in here, unemployment insurance is just that, where employers pay into the system. The employer pays, employees do not. And what happens is, if they have to lay people off, then they know that their rates are going to go up. But this pandemic was something that people had to, they were forced to lay people off or whatever because their businesses were closed. And this COVID-19 thing has kind of been something that's hit us as a society, and it's a societal problem. And, I think that we need to make sure that we don't try to force paying for that societal problem on business owners who really had nothing to do with or no choice of their own, had to lay people off, or whose businesses were shut down. And we're going to have to find, I think, some other ways to pay for that, and not look to those employers out there and say, this is on you, because it really wasn't anything that they did. It wasn't their fault. And I'm hopeful we can do that, but I know that we do not have a fix for that yet.
Thank you all. Anyone else on that? All right. Next on my list is Representative-elect Miss Mary Beth Imes. Miss Mary Beth, we know you're certainly no stranger to Frankfort and no stranger to the process. Newly elected, and we welcome you, and the floor is yours.
I appreciate that. I thank you so much for inviting me here. I appreciate all that you all do. We could not do what we do without you all, and I appreciate that very much. I'm kind of the newbie, so I can only echo what has been said by my colleagues. I haven't been to the committee meetings like they have. I did go to the retreat, and I do realize that we're going to have to hit the ground running when we get there to Frankfort. Just want to say, if anybody needs anything from me, just let me know. If I don't know, I'll see if I can find out who does know. And I just wish all of you all Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hine. Next is Representative Lynn Beckler. You on there you are. Yes, sir.
I'm technologically challenged, evidently. I couldn't find the unmute button. And Judge Tribble, you don't have to say anything about it, okay? First of all, I want to, as everybody else said, thank you for allowing us to be here. I just want to tell you, I expect next year double food because, you know, I really look forward to talking to everybody, but I really look forward to eating the good stuff too. So with regard to what I see coming up, the budget is going to be the big deal. With 22 new members in the House of Representatives, there's going to be, I suspect, somewhat of a learning curve with those folks. And as Representative Gooch indicated, since it's a short year, we have to have many more votes. So it's going to take up an inordinate amount of time. I'm sure that the gas tax is going to be coming up. I am not quite inundated, but I frequently hear from both non-elected constituents and elected constituents. And the dichotomy is really interesting. Practically 100% of my constituents who aren't elected officials are telling me whether I ask them or not. They're just out of the blue saying, don't raise the gas tax. On the other hand, about 100% of the elected officials who are responsible for dealing with roads and bridges, et cetera, are telling me that we need to raise the gas tax. So I suspect that that's going to be a very interesting discussion in the chamber. I'm sure that the other General Assembly members are getting hit up on the gas tax as well. Let's see. I'd like to see some pension reform addressed again. I don't know if we'll have enough time. I know that we've discussed it internally, but you know, it's a real heavy lift when you try and put that on top of the budget. Obviously, the executive powers, as has been mentioned, will be addressed. I believe there are a total of 5 pre-filed bills in the House of Representatives, of which I had one, the first one actually, to address the governor's executive powers. Along with that, I'm getting emails from and phone calls actually from a lot of people on both sides of the issue about impeaching the governor, and you know, the governor's doing a great job. So it seems that there is, at least in my district, some differences of opinion about the job the governor's doing. I do think that the powers need to be addressed. You know, statutes are being rescinded, mandates are being put out, courts have weighed in on both sides of what he's doing. You know, I hold very dear to my heart the First Amendment, the freedom of religion, and I know the other representatives and probably all y'all that feel the same, that we should be able to practice our religion without interference by the government. There's certainly some concerns from people about the Second Amendment and what's going on there. So this particular pandemic has really caused a lot of issues to be brought to the fore that I know that I didn't expect. Let's see. There will be some more pro-life legislation passed. I suspect early on. I know there are a number of pro-life bills that are out there. Historical racing is going to be an issue. I know that you're all aware that the Supreme Court has ruled that historical racing in Kentucky is not pari-mutuel. So I've been talking to the Racing Commission. I will be chairing or continuing to chair the Economic Development Budget Review Subcommittee, and we'll have those folks in to testify on the financial aspects of it. I'm very interested in both the income or revenue rather, that the state will lose, and as well as what the tracks will gain from it. I was going to have a meeting in the interim, but when I mentioned to the Horse Racing Commission what I wanted to do, they kind of begged off and said, well, we don't have all those answers yet. And besides, we're going to go ahead and appeal, see if we can get a rehearing on it. So I think that that's going to be a big issue. I would like to see, although once again, in a short session, I don't know we'll be able to do it. Tax reform in the aspect of trying to drive down our state income tax. If we do that, then we're going to have to do some other things to make it more consumption based. So my guess is that probably won't get through, but I would anticipate some kind of discussion. We've talked a little bit about unemployment insurance, and a committee meeting about, it was either last week or the week before, heard testimony from the governor's office, and there are still outstanding claims from the month of March, and there are over 80,000 claims that have yet to be resolved totally. So, I mean, that's a real mess. So, we're going to be looking at what we can do from a pandemic standpoint, how we can help people. This unemployment insurance going up is a real issue. The Kentucky Chamber of Commerce has really been pushing to have us address it in some fashion. Unfortunately, nobody has a perfect answer on how we're going to do it, but we've certainly heard the message loud and clear. And at the end, one thing I want to say is that if anybody has any problems or a need to call me, I'll be happy to continue to refer them to Stan Humphreys. He's going to have a lot of time on his hands now, and I know he'll be happy to take all those calls. Outside of that, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hopefully 2021 is going to be a much better year for us all than 2020. And, I will answer any questions that you have now or pass them on to Stan as the case may be.
Anybody have any questions for Representative Beckler?
I've got a question, Judge.
All right.
Besides
That's you, Senator. Yeah, go ahead, Senator. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to ask him where he got that wardrobe hat he's got on with that hat.
You like that? You like that? Well, I'm full of the Christmas spirit. Oh, oh, oh.
I thought you were full of something, Lenny, for sure.
That's why I'm passing all my complaints on the stand.
Senator, he's probably been passing those people along to you all along anyway, so nothing may change there.
Right.
Thank you all. A representative of KYTC, Doug Taylor. I saw you on there earlier, Doug. Do you have anything for us? Any updates? And I know you stopped by Wade White's office earlier today to give him another $250,000 of road money, and he wasn't there in his office, so you brought it over to Trigg County. We appreciate that.
Well, I'll let you and Judge White discuss that later on. He's got a gun right now, it looks like, Judge. So I'll leave that where it is. Nothing outside of some normal housekeeping things. I will report that monetarily right now, the budget looks as though the additional CRA stipend and MRA stipend for early 2021 should be on track for the amount that you're anticipating. We'll want to visit just quickly something that Representative Beckler brought up, and that is the motor fuel tax. Most non-elected people see that term tax and do not like it. Most elected officials see that as the source of revenue that keeps their roads and streets up, and it is a user fee as much as it is a tax. Money collected at the pump goes back to the roads that those people are buying motor fuel to drive on, and that's it's a little unique in when we apply the word tax to it. It certainly is a tax, but it is absolutely more of a user fee than a lot of daily users might recognize. There's the verbiage in I believe it's House Bill 826 that's been established so far. One of the elements of that is not only the collection and the amount, but the distribution of those. And I think there's some consideration by certain legislators to maybe readdress how that's redistributed. And I would encourage each of you as local officials to be in communication with our legislators, and you, our legislators, to be well informed when you make decisions about how those are distributed out, especially to our local governments, and talk to our local elected officials, your judges and your mayors that you represent as well, and try to get a feel for what works for them and what doesn't, and that some things that are going to be changing in that bill or could change in that bill. As always, I'll remind you that in this case, both Kyle in one county's case, Joe Plunk in Bowling Green, but in most of your cases, Denitra, they are your state and federal highway representatives, and they take care of those things very good. I represent the Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and we provide aid to you for your cities and city streets and county roads. So if you've got needs or questions about those, don't hesitate to contact me. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope each and every one of you have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Doug. And I'm sorry to see Beth finally kicked you out into the garage. She probably should have done that years ago.
She did. She did. Thank you very much.
We also have from KYTC District 2 Engineer Chief Denitra Henderson. Denitra, are you on here?
I am on here, and I don't have a report. I'd like to second what Doug has said is on behalf of KYTC and our budget needs specifically. But again, if you have any roadway needs, reach out to me or your corresponding district engineer.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Also, Mr. Elton Thomas, the governor's representative from the Department of Local Government. We see you on here. Mr. Thomas, do you have a report for us or anything you'd like to update us on?
Hey, Merry Christmas. I'm brief. Y'all tracking, the vaccines are out there. They're going to be pushing out to your areas here real soon. We thank you all for being supportive of that. Also, most importantly, thank you to all the judges and mayors and city officials that got the CARES applications in on time. Hope you all received the monies that you qualify for. If not, you will be getting a phone call from me just to make sure. Continue to stay encouraged in reference to this pandemic. We on the tail end of this thing, and just make sure keeping the citizens and stuff informed. There are other grants out there, you know, the utility fund relief. You can get that taken care of if you need to. We try to have it in by 31st December. And also the Kentucky Food and Beverage Fund expires on 18 December. If you get that in to help out with some of the restaurants and bars who are struggling with payroll or whatever their other operation expenses. Other than that, that's all I have, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Appreciate you being on today.
Cool.
Next, we have the recognition of our outgoing legislators and board members. First on that list is Senator Stan Humphreys. We've already heard from the senator. He served Kentucky State Senate from 2013 to 2020, representing the 1st District. That's from Callaway, Fulton, Graves, Hickman, Lyon, and Trigg counties. I believe when he started that also included Carlisle. Is that right, Senator Humphreys?
Yes, it included Carlisle.
Yeah. You can't hardly get there from here. You have to go to the end of the world and back to get to part of those areas. Beautiful part of the state. I'm not saying anything bad about that part of the country, but it's hard to get there from here. That's a big district. Jason, I know you mailed him out a ham and a $500 gift card to somewhere. I don't know if they've gotten that yet or not, but Jason, anything you'd like to say to Senator Humphreys?
Well, I tell you what, I'll leave my comments to my section, but yes, the check's in the mail.
All right. Senator, we do want to say thank you. The work you've done in Frankfurt for the last 8 years. I know one piece of legislation sticks out very large to me, and that's the TVA money that come back to us 39 southern counties that border. Most of us border Tennessee. We're in the TVA region. That money has helped us in ways for our economic development that is just unbelievable. I know you championed that bill. I think Walker Thomas on the House side was a champion for that bill, and we appreciate you very much for that. We appreciate the work you've done for the entire Pennyroyal region as well as the rest of the state. Just want to say thank you, and thank you for always being my friend as well. And I'll leave it up to you if you got anything to say to that.
Well, Judge, thank you for coming back to me again. And all the folks who are on this call today were big players in the TVA in lieu of tax bill, and I appreciate you recognizing that. I think that is one of the accomplishments we had in the last couple of years. It's going to pay dividends for years to come. And I know that as we look across the state, we can find a lot of differences, whether it's party or other things. But one of the things I think in the future is going to really tell the tape is going to be it's how we bounce back from this COVID issue, and it's going to be up to my colleagues to ensure that that piece of legislation and the funding for that stays intact, and that we can keep that money coming back to the counties. As you know, that's not in perpetuity. It's to the next time there's a budget year, and unfortunately, as we had to leave early this past year, halfway done with the budget, we're going to be doing the budget again this year and again in 22. So money's going to be tight. Everything will be reviewed and looked at. So I ensure and trust my colleagues will find a way to keep that funding mechanism and stream coming back to the counties. I think it allows for small communities like where I was county judge in Trigg and others, judges across who are listening in today as well, and mayors, just giving them the shot in the arm they need to kind of keep things moving and help ourselves, not really, hand out, but a kind of a hand up. And so I think it's going to pay dividends. I think there's plenty of other things that Kentucky faces, and as they go through, I have full confidence in who's going to be working in Frankfurt and the leadership, both in the House and the Senate. I wish the best for our governor. I know it's been a very tough year. Sometimes we come across as if we're at odds constantly, but we need to be in prayer and certainly supportive of leadership as whoever it may be. And I know it's tough times. Kentucky can bounce back from this. We have a lot of obstacles in our way, but this, when these kind of down periods, you find yourself at a lull, you can find a way to kind of see some positives. I think we're going to grow from this. We're going to find some ways to mature out of this, and maybe we'll be better on the other side, that we can work through this and be very positive. I want to say thank you to Jason publicly for his work. And I guess Chris Sutton's not on there and Danny Bozar aren't on there, but we go back a little bit with the work that the ad district does. And I want all my folks on the line to know, and I'm sure they're very aware, that the Pennyroyal Ad District, as well as the Purchase Ad District, did a remarkable job in outlying counties that I've been fortunate to represent, to be supportive of them and help them along the way. I think I saw where Tony Wilder just came on, and I know Tony's been a great friend to the ad districts over the years and will be supportive years in the future. So best of luck to you, and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Appreciate your work once again. Next outgoing, and I'm not sure, is Larry Elkins on? Representative Elkins on? He's not on. Larry Elkins has served in the Kentucky State Representative from 2019 to 2020, representing District 5, Callaway, and Trigg, part of Trigg County. He is retired judge executive from Callaway County, and also retired police chief. I want to throw a shout out to him for that. Mary Beth Imes will be taking his place, and we know she'll do an excellent job. We've already heard from her today. Next outgoing is board member, Mr. Gary Jones. He has served the PADD Board of Directors from 2003 until 2020 as a citizen member representing Muhlenberg County. Is Gary, are you on? Thought I saw him on earlier.
Yes, I'm on.
There you are. We're going to turn the floor over to you. Thank you, Gary, for your work. I know you've always been easy to get along with. You've been easy to work with. You've always tried to be a great representative for the citizens of Muhlenberg County, as well as a great PADD board member, and worked hard over the years, and want to say thank you for that.
We appreciate it, and I want to say thanks to everybody from the mayors, the judge executives, the legislature. All have become good friends over the years. I've been able to serve on the board since 2003. I was appointed by Rodney Kirtley back during that time, and I've also served on the Workforce Investment Board, the West Kentucky Workforce Investment Board. And it's been a good ride, but as I've told others, at 74 years old, it's time to go to the house and kick my feet up, and that's what we're going to do. But thank you to everybody, to Jason, the PADD staff. I think this is the best area development district in the state, and I say that without reservation, and I say it very proudly, and congratulations to them and to all of you. We're going to miss you, but keep up the good work.
Gary, thank you once again. We wish you the best of luck, and hope you have a happy retirement and enjoy kicking your feet up every day. All right. Jason, did I miss anybody on that? Got everybody covered?
No, I don't think so, but I do believe that Representative Melinda Prunty has joined us. We knew that she might be a little late, but is she on here? She might have a few words to say.
Yes, I am, Jason, and I appreciate the opportunity. I don't know what was said, and I apologize for being late, but we hope, as I heard Representative Beckler say, the budget, we've got to craft the budget for the next year. We're going to look at COVID relief, liability protections for small business owners. We're going to look at executive powers under an emergency such as this. And I told the Hopkins County, Madisonville Hopkins County Chamber had a Kentucky Chamber update this morning. And like I told them, it's not a matter of trying to attack this governor. It's just this situation has unveiled some flaws in the current statutes that it's going to be trying to craft good public policy moving forward, no matter who's the governor, no matter which party's the majority or whatever. It's just trying to change that so that that was crafted for like maybe a two week issue, emergency, not 9 months. And it's just going to require some consultation with the legislature, which I think is just common sense. So, and then on the motor fuel tax, Secretary Gray spoke at our caucus, and I told him then that, I hear the road engineers, I hear Denitra, I heard Wade before she came in about the need, and I see the need when I'm driving the roads, but constituents don't want, taxes raised. And so I told Jacqueline Pitts, I said, this morning, I said, y'all might negotiate for maybe a smaller raise, or something's better than nothing. And I just wonder, does that tax word need to be rephrased to a consumer fee or to a user fee? And maybe the messaging needs to be different so that the people will accept it better. But those are just kind of my 2 cents. And Mayor Jones, I just wanted you to know I passed on your suggestion that rather than a stimulus moving forward for any kind of COVID relief from the federal level, that it might go towards the water and utilities relief instead of a stimulus, and what you said about it would benefit both the individual and the utilities. So I did pass that on to our federal delegation. I too would like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Representative Prunty. We appreciate you joining us. They got everybody covered, Jason?
Yes.
All right. Thank you all. Next is our monthly Code of Ethics report, and there is nothing to report. Moves us right into the director's report. Jason, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge, and good afternoon again, everybody. As it's already been mentioned a few times, as I'm sure like the rest of you all, I am also missing that wonderful meal from Penaraw Forest State Park right now. I sure hope this time next year We are sitting over there and enjoying each other's company and definitely celebrating the season. I do appreciate our state legislators for joining us today and sharing their thoughts and opinions with us about the upcoming session. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Our region is very fortunate to have the representation in Frankfort that we do. I'm proud of the chairmanship positions that several of our senators and representatives have held and will continue, and the new ones that will be holding new chairmanships this year. You all have a huge task at hand, and just please know that we stand ready to assist any way possible. As you know, we're just a phone call or email away. We thank you for what you do. I also want to mention that we look forward to working with Senator-elect Jason Howe and Representative-elect Mary Beth Imes on issues, all issues related to West Kentucky. Morgan, Jason, and Sandy, thank you all for being with us today and giving the federal perspective. As always, we appreciate everything that you all do for us. If you're viewing the online agenda, you will see a number of items under my report. I won't touch on each and every one of those, but at your convenience, if you'd like to look through those items. But there are a couple of things that I do want to draw your attention to. Over the weekend, I emailed board members a copy of our recently amended Title VI implementation plan. This plan is part of PADD's continual and ongoing efforts to meet and exceed compliance with requirements established under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and of course, any related anti-discrimination statutes and regulation. With this implementation plan, PADD does seek to provide continued transparency, clarity, and of course, technical guidance for internal and external constituents regarding our Title VI program. And Mr. Chairman, I'll be happy to answer any questions regarding that plan, but if there are none, the board will need to formally approve that plan as submitted.
Anyone have any questions of Jason? What's the pleasure of the board?
So move.
Got a motion?
Jan Yant.
Second the motion.
Got a second?
Curtis G, second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion, questions? All in favor of saying aye? Aye. Opposed by like sign? Hear none. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. I do want to point out several brochures relating to legislative priorities, starting with those of the Pennyrile ad. And I won't touch on everything in the Pennyrile ad brochure, but you will find information on the recent rankings of infrastructure projects, which is taking place over the last couple of months, along with general information, including contact information for all of our General Assembly members, the legislative calendar, and who to call directory here at PADD. Of course, as you would expect, and as we've talked about today, you'll find the words transportation funding, broadband, aging and workforce initiatives scattered out throughout our legislative priorities, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to read through those in the near future and before the session starts. And of course, in addition to the PADD brochure, you will find the priorities of the Kentucky League of Cities, as well as KCO, also, which include many of the topics that we've heard about today. I saw Tony Wilder jump on here. I do want to mention, as you probably expect, our annual legislative breakfast in Frankfort will look different this year. Tony, of course, who is our KCADD Executive Director in Frankfort, is working with LRC to determine an appropriate course of action for the event. And I'm almost 99% positive, Tony, that a breakfast in the Capitol Annex cafeteria will not take place. However, I will keep everyone updated on any developments as it pertains to what type of event we will be having. And of course, we're always looking at ways to further show appreciation to our legislators. And Tony, is there anything you want to add about that, or anything else KCADD related?
Well, Christmas greetings to y'all. I sure miss not being down there myself. Always enjoyed coming to Penny Ryle on Christmas time. With respect to the breakfast, Jason's right, and as most of you might assume, we're probably not going to be able to get into the Capitol and gather as we have in the past. At this point, I can't even schedule space because they're prohibiting that at the moment. What we're going to do, we'll end up maybe, at least for the council meeting, having a Zoom meeting. But what we may do as a group is we may, and I'm working on this right now, we can in fact provide food to the legislators on that day and utilize the, park service there at the cafeteria to deliver that food either to the offices or to have a committee room set aside for them to come and pick up some breakfast items and that kind of thing, like they would normally in the cafeteria, but not in the cafeteria. So we might even be able to have some ad representation there at this point. I can't say that for sure, but that's our intent. We just had an ad directors meeting. I don't think, Jason, you've mentioned that. I happened to join late myself, had a little computer issue, but so we had this meeting and we've decided we're going to pursue providing some food, some breakfast items for the legislators on that day. So we look forward to that, and I'll be able to report more on that later. I know you all have had a long meeting already, and I don't want to prolong it too much, but I do want to echo what Jason said about the legislative priorities. We're going to have to monitor this budget very closely. As you all know, it's going to be dominated by the COVID-related matters, and as articulated by some of your legislators, there's going to be some issues with executive power discussed and debated. So, but we've also got some issues underneath with their PDS program and our waiver programs and things that we're really going to have to monitor as we move along. And I'm sure your executive director has kept you apprised of what's going on with the waiver program and how we're experiencing some shift in the Department of Aging and Independent Living's position on that may impact us. And we'll be monitoring that very closely. So I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And again, I miss y'all. I don't know if my good friend Tribble's on there. Is Tribble on there today?
He is.
Well, I just wanted to offer my condolences to him about the
I already know. I already know.
With my Bull County Rebels.
Yeah. I was going to say I don't appreciate the way you treat us up there.
Merry Christmas, my friend. Thank you all. And Judge Hollis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to see you at the helm. Good to see you at the helm there.
Good to see you also, friend. Thank you very much. I hope things are well for you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us today. Jason, did you have anything else?
I do just have a couple of more things. And Judge, as you mentioned, this will be the last official meeting for a few of our dear friends. We're sure going to miss Gary from Muhlenberg, and of course, Representative Larry Elkins and Senator Stan Humphreys from Trigg County. And Gary, I just want to say that you have been such a great friend to PADD and just such an integral part to the improvements made in Muhlenberg County over the past several years. And I know for a fact that you have spearheaded many of those initiatives. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time, not only on the PADD board, but also the West Kentucky Workforce Board, and definitely whoever comes in and behind you at MAP will definitely have huge shoes to fill. So again, just thank you for always having the support, and with both of my parents being from Muhlenberg County, I appreciate how you have continued, and I'm sure will continue to represent Muhlenberg County and just work to make it a great place to live and work and play. And now to Senator Humphreys. I'm not real sure where to start, but I guess all I'll say is that we've been through a lot together. I'll leave it right there just to protect both of us, I think. But seriously, whether it was as Trigg County Sheriff, Trigg County Judge Executive, or Senator, you've always had, and I'm sure that you will continue to have, the citizens of West Kentucky, the Pennyrile region as your number one priority. And being a former local official, I know this has already been said at least once, you always knew, you understood, and you always promoted the needs of local government there in Frankfort. And I guess more importantly, I've always cherished our friendship, and look forward to that friendship continuing, and hopefully working with you in different capacities in the future. So good luck to both Gary and Senator Humphreys on your future endeavors, and just know that we're right here and would always love to hear from you. Moving forward, our January meeting will be held on Monday, January the 11th. We will have a report from our auditors, as well as making amendments to our FY 2021 budget. To our executive committee members, we will meet prior to the 11th on a date that has yet to be identified. It will probably be sometime that first week of January, maybe the Wednesday or Thursday, but I'm working with our chairman, Judge Newcomb, on that, and we'll let you know about that in the next few days. But just in closing, I do also want to personally thank each of you for another great year. It's certainly been an interesting year. I appreciate the tremendous amount of support each of you give the Pennyrile PADD. And on behalf of the staff, I want to say Merry Christmas. And we're looking forward to a exciting 2021. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And if unless someone has questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Director Vincent. We appreciate you. Appreciate all your staff and the hard work that you've done, and keeping us all informed in the Pennyrile through these challenging times. And as always, you and your staff have done an excellent job, and we want to thank you for that, and tell each and every one of your employees Merry Christmas from all of us. Is there any other business to come before this board today?
Wade moves to adjourn.
Arthur Green, second.
All right. First of all, Wade, before we adjourn, I wanted to tell everybody your new name was Elmer Fudd White. It's what you look like holding that gun around down there in Lyon County. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Merry Christmas to all. Please stay safe through the holidays, and have a great and Merry Christmas. Thank you all. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Judge.
See you, Judge.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.